What's up, everybody? I'm Mike.
We didn't do a cold open. Now this is a cold open.
3, 2, 1, throw.
What's up, everybody? I'm Mike.
I'm Nick.
We are the Brothers Murph. It's time to talk about crap that's not out yet, or sort of out, but like we haven't played it yet.
Maybe demos. It's kind of confusing this year.
Who knows,
Let's
man?
be honest. It's a little confusing.
The whole world is confusing, but we're going to be talking about games that are coming out at Gen Con, which is like now-ish, in the games
in a
that
week.
we are anticipating the most.
Yeah, the games that we're most excited for that are be either shown at Gen Con or coming out at Gen Con. And just kind of like, some of these I'm kind of like, I don't know what this is, but like, it looks cool. And that's kind of the end of it. But there's a lot of stuff coming out. It's Gen Con, right? And I'm just excited for a lot of them.
So the main thing that we have with this is that these are all games that we have not played yet.
Yeah,
there are
some of
certain
them-
games that are coming out that we have played. So we're like,
Yes.
well, we can't anticipate something that we
I can't anticipate that I like Furnace because I already know that I like Furnace.
It's a good one. We should get it at Gen Con. But we're going to go into our 10 games that we think are really interesting seeming right now. They might suck. Number 10 is a game that's not new, but it's coming back via Capstone. It is Glass Road.
Yeah. We like Uwe stuff.
I like big Uwe Rosenberg games.
Yeah.
And I've heard like Glass Roads is not everyone's favorite, but some people really like it and stuff. And I don't know, but I want to
curious.
try it.
And I've always wanted to be a glass blower.
Yes, it celebrates the 700-year-old tradition of glass
Like if I
blowing.
could pick a career that I don't actually want to like train for, but I just want to be able to
just
do,
be able to
it'd
do
be
it.
glass blowing.
That'd be amazing. Yeah, so this one, like, I guess you're playing cards, and if you're the only one that plays, like, everyone has the same 15 specialists, and if you're the only one who plays this card, you get to do both actions, but if multiple people play
nice.
once, there's that, like, kind of fun, like, deduction, where, you know, you're trying to figure out what players have played Libertalia, kind of stuff like that. So that's something that's interesting to me, but that's Glass Road. You probably know it. Should we be excited for it?
Yeah, I don't know. We'll have to kind of see, but I'd like to play it, and it's a new version, so why not?
All right, that's number 10.
I don't even know what number 9 is. It's Camel Up off season. What is it?
I figured this was an expansion, but this is like
It's
a
not. It's like a
standalone
standalone.
Camel Up type game where you have like these 4 camels that can hold different amounts of goods, and you're going to like markets and you're like bidding on being able
So
to
it's
take
not
the goods.
Camel at all. They just put in that universe.
It's in the universe.
I'm down.
I'm kind of more down because like I played Camel Up once. I didn't love it.
Yeah, it was okay.
It was just a lot of luck, and I have bad luck, and
It
did
was
not
it was
go
okay.
well
I
for
thought
me.
Camel Up was very, very okay.
Yeah, so you're like bidding on these markets and stuff, and then the markets themselves have powers and things. And again, there's like that kind of each of your 4 camels, one can hold like 4 goods, and then one holds 5, 6, and 7, or something like that. And so I think you're trying to figure out. I don't know if they actually stack, but I think that's
We're
the Camel
still thinking with
Up-ishness.
camels and stacking. I'm down.
Yeah, and so and there's like different goods. You're going for like dates, carpets, vases, and fruit and stuff. And so I'm like, I don't know. I'm just like interested
Here's the
in
thing.
that kind of stuff. So
We played Camel Up. Didn't hate it, but like didn't love it.
don't need to play
and
it
yet
again.
I'm still intrigued by Camel Up for some
Yes.
reason. You know what I mean? So if there's like a Camel Up universe
yeah.
that another game lives in, I'm like, you know what? I'm down with that. 'Cause I like the look. Like I love the cover of Camel Up. I
Yeah.
like the look of
The
it.
new
And so
art
I'm always
style's
just like,
cool.
I want to like this game more. So I'm like, okay, cool. Like this is a game in that kind of world.
The Camel Up-averse.
Okay, the Camel Up-averse.
Yeah.
I'm down with that.
That's where I'm at. So that is Camel Up off season. So it's like when you're not racing, you're trading.
You're off season.
I'm into trading.
You know, you're in your bulk season, not your cut
You
season.
just gotta be bulking right now.
Yeah, I'm
those
bulking
camels.
right now,
These camels are beefy. Let's go into number 8.
So this is a game I'm not sure if it's good.
It's now or never. That's the name of the game.
Is that a song?
Yeah.
By who? Tony Bennett? Sound like you're doing Tony Bennett.
Oh yeah, it's a standard.
Oh, is this
classic.
Is it a standard? Okay, I don't know.
Yeah, Tony Bennett, of course, has done a cover.
I'm sure he's
of
done a
that.
cover.
Of
Yeah,
course, it's a
Well,
standard.
you
Classic.
sound like you were doing a Tony Bennett.
Now or
Now and Never is a
never.
game that it's in the same Ryan Lockett, Red Raven
universe.
Games universe. But this game, I mean, it's any Red Raven game I'm immediately interested in. It's like
Yes.
absolutely immediately interested. And this one, we're not sure if it's going to be just demoed there or for sale there or what. But either way, it's like this is a game where I would immediately go like, I'm gonna go over there and look at that real quick because it's Ryan Lockett and it's very pretty.
Yeah, and this like goes back to being a competitive game, but you're
Yeah.
kind of competitively trying to quest and stuff. And there's like a tech tree element
Yeah.
to it and things. There seems
seems
like some
really
interesting like stuff going on, asymmetrical characters and things. That universe, that whole universe that inhabits sleeping gods and near and far and stuff is really cool.
Every Red Raven game I've always liked. I liked Above and Below. We played through Near and Far, loved it.
Yeah.
Still really regret not getting Sleeping Gods because it just looks so good and it's cooperative. It seems really cool. So it's like now or never. I'm like, yeah, give me more. What's the next one gonna be? Lemon or lime?
It's gonna be yeah.
Yeah.
It's sponsored
Just
by
going
Sprite.
food. Just going food. It's sponsored
Yeah.
by Sprite. I'll take that sponsorship.
Boom! I like that. Just selling out straight up.
Good. Go, Ryan. Here's the. I know you're watching. Probably not. If
Come
you
on
get
down.
a sponsor from Sprite, you take it.
You absolutely take
You
it.
absolutely take
The
that
second
money.
we can get sponsored by Diet Dr Pepper on this
Oh
channel,
my
it's
gosh.
over for you butts.
That's right.
But that's now or never. Highly anticipated from us. Let's get to the next one.
So number 7 is Khôra, Rise of an Empire. And honestly, like, so much of this isn't so much about the game. It's like, I honestly haven't been super excited for like a yellow game.
It's been
in
a minute.
a while.
It's been a minute.
And I really like this cover, and I'm just like, I just want to launch this game, you
I
know?
know,
Because
yeah.
I like yellow, but I feel like I haven't played like an absolute banger from yellow in a minute, honestly. And it's like, I really love the look of the cover and stuff like that. And the board looks kind of like, you know, like a Euro game or whatever.
It's very ancient Greek.
Yeah, it's about ancient Greece, right? You're like, you know, doing
Trying to
ancient Greek
Build
stuff.
up Greek cities the best and be the best ancient Greeks you can.
Yeah, exactly. So it's kind of that classical theme, but it's just like, I think so much of this is like, this seems like it might be a cool game. People are talking about it. People are excited about it, and it's yellow. It's got a great cover. It's obviously got a great look, because yellow, one thing yellow always does is great
Nice
is
looking
art.
productions.
And so I'm like, I'm anticipating it so much because I want to be like, oh yeah, yellow's crushing it.
Return to form, as it
Yeah.
were.
And again, they're doing fine, but it's just, I feel like the last thing I've been kind of interested in was like Ishtar, I feel like. And even then that kind
We're
of
like, let's play it. And everyone's like, it's okay.
and that kind of like came and went, and I'm just like, man, like Yellow used to be one of those companies where I'm like, every single thing they came out with, I was like, what's that? What's that? Because I'm so interested, and I want that back. So hopefully Khôra, you know?
Fingers crossed for that. But that is Khôra. It's number 7. All right, number 6.
I don't know what it is.
I don't either. It's Dungeons and Dragons Dungeon Scrawlers, which to me and us, I think it feels like Flippin' Philly,
Kind of.
D&D,
So basically, like
drawing stuff.
You have like a maze, like a maze, and you are drawing on it. You're drawing a line
Okay.
through the maze, and everybody has a character. Like one character's like the ranger, one character's like the barbarian, and
see, yeah.
whoever you are, it gives you a special ability. So like when you're not, if you're a barbarian, you it's easier to kill the enemies you come across.
big and buff.
But I'm still confused on exactly what you're doing.
So
like,
I'm getting the vibe that it's like you can go through and use your abilities and you can mark stuff off. Like
That's
we
my
did, we
guess,
resolved
yeah.
this thing, we moved through here.
yeah, it just looks cool, and I love the idea that these maps and these mazes. And
Yeah, the
fact that
maps
different
look kinda
characters.
neat.
It's super interesting looking, and I'm just like, what is this? What is this?
You
What
know
is
what's so
this?
funny
And-
is like
and
I think like this is so different, but it's like kind of what D&D is. It's
Yeah.
like you're using your imagination and then scribbling
literally a
on
Dungeons and Dragons game, yeah.
thing. It just like makes a map for you. I'm like, great, that's like so
also
much easier
Dungeon
for me.
Scrawl is a great name.
Yeah,
it's just
Dungeon
a great
Scrawler,
name. But yeah, this is
Crawler,
one I'm very
Scrawler.
intrigued with. But it's one of those ones where it's like I don't really know anything about this game. I just am intrigued, and I don't really know what it is.
Very much want to play this, and this was very much as we're going through the BGG Gen Con preview where we got all these games by
Yes,
the way, and you can
indeed.
check it out. I stopped and I was like, what the heck is that? That was
Yeah.
like a pure like
Yeah.
cold, spot it and be like, well, I love that's what I love about going to conventions and
Yes,
stuff. Is
there's
like
so much of that.
Is you can just like stops you and be like, huh, and like that's fun. This was very much that situation. So
Yeah.
that's Dungeons and Dragons, Dungeon Scrawlers. Number 5, get me hungry.
Number 5 is here 100% because Dreamboat Matthew Jude won't ever stop talking about
Handsome lad. Talking about juicy fruits.
it. By Capstone, yeah.
It does look, there's wonderful fruits in there, very colorful. I don't know what you're doing in this game.
This is a game where
know what the-
it's. I honestly,
But I'm down.
I
'cause we shall
watched.
eat more fruits and vegetables.
I've watched a video that Matthew did, and I just remember like it seemed really cool, and I love the look of it. Again, you're like I think collecting these different fruits. There's bananas in it, which the bananas are never bananas
Should be
in
in more
games.
games.
And it seems really cool. And I just remember like it's one of our best friends who we have very similar taste in games in. Loved this game and it will
Yeah.
not stop talking about it. So I was like, okay, Juicy Fruits is one of the highest on my list because I'm just like, Matthew keeps talking about it and I want to play it.
to
And
be
I also
something.
don't know too much about it. And again, I've watched a couple of videos on it and stuff, but it's just like, it just seems really solid, really cool. It's got a great look and Matthew likes it, which means we're probably going to like it.
That's all I need to know is that now I want to play Juicy Fruits. It just looks really nice. Looks like a good weight where it's not too heavy, not too light. colorful,
Yeah, and I know like a lot of it comes down to like
pleasant.
you're planning stuff and timing is like a big deal. I think it's just
I
like
like that.
it's kind of one of those games that it's like not super heavy, but it's got a really satisfying puzzle in it.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure it kind of falls into that category. And that's a category we've been talking about a lot lately because I really love that kind of weight of game where it's like not super complicated, but it's got a really kind of satisfying bit of brain burny puzzle.
Something to think about while we're there. Yeah.
And that's what it seems like Juicy Fruit is, and I'm like, I'm here for it all day.
I'm just down with fruit.
Yeah.
All right, so number 4 is the next game in the Horrified series. It's American Cryptids time. Now, this is very much seems like the same game as Horrified, and not when you're dealing with the original Universal movie monsters.
Yep.
And here it's taking it to American Cryptids. So we got things like the Bigfoot and the Jersey Devil now to deal with.
Chupacabra, the Mothman,
and I imagine it's going to be the same kind of pick up and deliver style of getting items from places to places, and then each monster has their own way that they need to be dealt with.
As far as I can tell, it's basically the same game, just with new monsters.
Which I
and stuff
love,
like
because the original Horrified was like such a surprisingly great game.
Yeah.
And this is awesome because, especially for you and your other passion is doing Death by Monsters, it's very much in that world. Like you've talked about so many of the
like
monsters.
all of these monsters.
And it's like so cool. So I'm like, the first one was great. I'm just extra excited now for this one.
Yeah, exactly. I love Horrified. More Horrified is good. Like, I would love to have an expansion for the other Horrified, and they still might do that. I was hoping this one would be compatible, and they're not compatible, which is unfortunate. But also, like, I don't know how they could be.
Yeah.
Because everything is tied to the locations on the board. So, like, there's not really a way they could be compatible. But nonetheless, I think it's super, super cool. And it's like, yeah, American Cryptids. And I'm like, just keep doing cryptids. Like, just do cryptids from all around the world.
yeah.
It's such a
Do
good
it for
idea.
regions and
I'm
stuff.
just like, this is so cool. I'm really excited for the new Horrified. Horrified is one of the biggest surprises for me ever in a game where I wasn't expecting much and ended up loving it. So I'm like, I'm all in on it. Yeah.
Yeah, this one's going to be just fantastic by the looks of it because it seems very much like taking all that was good about the first one and now hopefully just keeping going and finding clever ways to do stuff. So that is Horrified American Cryptids. Number 3, we've been excited for a while, and now it's kind of coming along.
Yeah, I didn't back it. This is Dinosaur World, which we didn't back on Kickstarter. We decided not to because we already have
Decided to
Dinosaur
wait and
Island. We
see
kind
a
of
little
wanted to
bit.
see, like, you know, how it played out and watch some more reviews on it, stuff like that. But this is a game that ultimately we're like, yeah, I think we're going to like this.
Now I'm just really excited
And
for it.
I think we're
Wish
gonna
I
like
backed
it
it.
more than Dinosaur Island. It's from what we can tell. I
guess.
And so this is a game that we're very excited that's hitting hands because now we're like, okay, now we can actually get it. But yeah, it's kind of like Dinosaur Island-y where you're like building dinosaurs and you have like DNA and all this kind of
Building
stuff.
out a park.
But then the second half of the game, instead of just kind of putting them in your park and scoring points, you actually like build out your park with like hex tiles, and then you have like your little safari jeep ride,
you kinda
and you actually have to like go through it.
around.
And I'm like, that's such a cool idea because Dinosaur Island is so focused on just like the worker placement engine of like building dinosaurs, but the park part of it kind of doesn't really exist.
Yeah.
And then this takes it like, oh no, now the
Let's
focus
really-
is more on the park part
Yeah,
of it.
you're
And
building
I'm
out
like,
these hexes, so I think there's gonna be like more of a spatial, like in the Dinosaur Island, like where you put things in placement does not matter.
unless you have the expansion,
Yeah, and like even that's just
And
sort of
even
for
that's-
points, but I
yeah.
hope that this deals with it kind of like a Suburbia where it's like you might get a bonus or
Yeah.
this might make something more dangerous if you put it here and here.
Yeah,
That'd be
yeah.
really
It's
cool.
and
Hope it.
it's seems really cool. So I'm like, okay, cool. Like I'm very much we both like Dinosaur Island, we like Dinosaur Island. We love things in this universe. We love the look of it. So we're just like, okay, I'm pretty all in on Dinosaur World, and it's one we decided not to back, but I think in the end we're gonna wish we had. But
back highly on the anticipated list. It's just this is more Jurassic Park stuff. I'm just gonna like it.
I'm okay with it.
I'm gonna like it.
Right?
It's gonna be great. That's why it's number 3 on the anticipation. Number 2 is from Elf Creek Games. They make wonderfully produced games, and this is Merchants of the Dark Road.
Elk Creek is one of the ones where I'm like, I'm immediately interested when I hear that
course.
they're
Art's on
the ones who
point,
did it. I'm always
game's
like,
on point.
cool. I'm down.
Yeah, and so this one, this is one again. I keep kind of hearing that name, and I'm like, what is that? And I think it was on Kickstarter before and stuff. And this is one where you are kind of like it's a rondel game, and I think you're kind of going through the dark road where there's peril awaits and stuff
Yeah.
like that. And you're trying to make it back to town, and then you can sell wares and stuff, manipulate markets. You can hire heroes that go on your journeys with you or sell them stuff. And I think you kind of provision up to go like through that gauntlet again.
Yeah.
And so I like rondel games. I want
Yes.
like more of those. I'm just interested in those kinds of things. Worker placement and things. I'm like, all right, you're you're speaking
Speaking
my
my- yeah,
lingo.
100%, yeah.
And then trading stuff around, and then it seems like in a cool world. So I don't really know a ton about this one other than
yeah.
everything I'm hearing. I'm kind of like, all right, you're.
And again, it's
okay.
Elk Creek. I'm immediately interested.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
It's just, I'm like, Elk Creek, cool, you know it's going to be pretty. You know the game's going to be at least solid. So you're like, cool, I'm down. And then, yeah, like Rondell, like worker placement, there's like some dice placement. I'm just like, cool, I'm in. Like, yeah, absolutely.
Down cool world, so the art and stuff seems really interesting. And just, yeah, Merchants of the Dark Road is, I don't know. I just like, it's an intriguing theme. So
Yeah.
count me interested. That's what I'm saying. That's
So number two. Let's go ahead and get into the number one. So number one is actually, funny, it's our first expansion and our only
It is.
expansion, and it doesn't matter. It's the Lost Ruins of Arnak, the Leaders Expedition, the Expedition Leaders. It's Lost Ruins of Arnak. It's my favorite game of last year. I think it's close to Mike's, if not your favorite game
It's
of last
way
year.
up there. It's way up there.
And the Leaders expansion sounds great. Basically, it's going to give everyone a starting, a unique special power and like a starting deck that's unique and stuff like that. And I'm just like, you sold me. Like the best thing you can do in a game generally is give people variable player powers.
Yep.
And I think about like back to like Hero Realms or Star Realms, and you have like the hero decks, which now instead of everyone starting with the same thing, everyone starts with something a little bit different, and it
little bit of
just
a different focus.
makes that game so much better. And this too, I'm like, we're each going to start with a slightly different deck. I really think that is going to make such a massive difference in this game, and we already loved it.
Yeah, like the fact that like it's not that you get your own cards and stuff, but you have certain skills that you can do that no one else can. I'm like, well, that's super cool. It's going to come with some extra assistance and extra different resource tracks and stuff to like create variety there. And
I'm just so
the
all
fact
in.
that like you're gonna have your own deck and then abilities and stuff. I keep saying this and like I'm not worried about the game not being able to be played for a while. Like Lost Ruins or Arnak, but like you put this in here, I'm like, this is essentially a future-proof game.
Oh,
'Cause I'm
yeah.
like, I'll be happy with it because now the variety is even greater. I'm so excited just to see what the leaders are, what they each do, what each of their focuses are.
I just can't wait to explore them all and
Yeah.
try each one.
It kind of makes sense. Like expansions are number one most anticipated because it's a piece of something that we
already know we love.
really like.
Yeah, and
So,
that's like, how do you get better than that, right? And so, and there's also just not a ton of expansions coming out of this Gen
No,
Con.
not really.
Like,
Not that we
really.
saw. Yeah.
Yeah, and so it's one of those things where it's like, usually I feel like there's more, and this time there just kind of isn't. And so, like, yeah, this is number one, Lost Ruins, and this expansion on top of that sounds so cool.
so excited.
And we're all there.
Yeah,
So,
that's our
down in the
list.
comments, let us know what games you're excited, looking forward to, like Gen Con or Origins, because they're literally right next to
Yeah.
each other. And yeah, let us know what games you're excited for. I'm excited. It's cool to be kind of like back to a somewhat normal con season. Of course, it's
Getting
not
there.
completely normal,
Getting
but we're
there.
getting there.
Yeah.
And yeah, so we're super excited. At the end of every top 10, we always like to run by all of our patrons on the screen here. This is everyone who supports us on Patreon. We really, really appreciate it. It allows us to do this for a job, which is cool. It's one of the main ways that we make income, and just like it means everything to us. So if you want to
Thank
join
you
our
so
Patreon,
much.
check out the link in the description below.
Do it.
There's always a lot of cool stuff there, and yeah, it's a good time. And to thank you to everyone who helps us out.
Thank you so much. We hope that some of these games caught your eye. These are all things that we were told or expecting will be available for purchase at Gen Con. So we try to focus
or
on
at the very
that.
least to demo. At
Yeah,
the very least.
yeah, and there's a lot more that's going to be demoing stuff from Restoration Games and others.
And if you want to check out the
Thank you,
list, the link to the BGG Gen Con preview will be down in the description below as well.
Check it out. Find out what you're interested in, and we'll see you in the next top 10, everybody.
Bye, everybody.
Bye. Anticipation is a thing. This is the end. Bumper do 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 do. Top 10 do 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 do. Other video do 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 do. Patreon and support. Bam. Dun, 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 dun.